Kevin Harlan here. Tomorrow, the NBA on Prime crew is back as the Emirates NBA knockout rounds continue. The action heads to Las Vegas tomorrow for a thrilling semifinals doubleheader. 4 teams remain, but only 2 will move on. The last 2 teams standing will then go toe-to-toe Tuesday night, December 16th, in the championship game for a shot at the cup, bragging rights, and a place in NBA history. And Prime is your exclusive home for all the action. So don't miss the final chase for the Emirates NBA Cup, coming to you live from Las Vegas, starting with the semifinals doubleheader tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. And Prime's also got your front row seat for the championship game Tuesday, December 16th at 8:30 Eastern. If you're not a Prime member, that's not a problem. Sign up for a free 30-day trial to get started today. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details. And don't miss the thrilling conclusion of the Emirates NBA Cup tomorrow, only on Prime.
Happy holidays. Want to give your host a gift? Consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show this holiday season. It really helps the show grow. From all of us at Believe, have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and a happy holiday.
This is the FunBelt podcast, part of the Believe Network.
Hosts to Dusty Thibodeau of Warhawk Report, Jeremy Harper of Powell Razor, and Shane Metlin of the Daily News Record.
I think it's potentially a very good week for the Sunbelt.
But I'm just kind of going off on a random rant. It's just frustrating. It's
Welcome back to Sunbelt Pod. It's not the Sunbelt podcast. I'm already making mistakes. It's been a little bit. Let's bring it back around. Welcome back to the FunBelt podcast. I'm Jeremy. He's Tibbs. Shane Metlin is in the house. We got a lot to talk about. But the most pressing thing we have to talk about, Shane Metlin, is, did you put up your Christmas lights?
No.
There's some various decorations. The lights have not gone up yet. It's been tough to find time to do everything.
I think it's curious the way you put that. And Tibbs, did you pick up on that? He said the lights have not gone up yet, as if it's up to the lights to put themselves up, and not Shane Metlin's job to put up.
It might be.
well, those high society folks up there. We have to ensure that we protect them because safety is the utmost importance around the Shenandoah Valley. So we don't know if we want Shane Metlin up on a ladder or around electricity or around P4 teams or anything else.
Yeah. Tibbs is still angry. You can always tell when he's pissed off because he just wants to get to the point right away. He doesn't want to talk about Christmas lights. He doesn't want to even talk about Christmas in general or bowl games or basketball. He wants to air his grievances on what is going on with the college football playoffs.
Jeremy, let me read for you word for word the Cliff Notes that I put up there for everybody.
Okay, let me see.
Bowl games. JMU destroys the world with CFP Birth.
Yeah.
They're the faces of the FunBelt and will face Oregon.
Yes.
G6 don't belong, blah, 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 blah. Safety issue if they play the game.
Yeah. Here's what I'm thinking, though. I think there were a lot of arguments made against the group of 5. But for some reason, you're latching onto this one argument. Was it that big of a discussion? Was anybody taking this seriously except for the goofballs on 3?
You have to make sure you mark this episode with an explicit disclaimer because there's definitely going to be a lot of F-bombs.
Here it comes.
I think they were fucking serious and they're by thinking that. And what's even worse is that so many people latched onto that and were like, yeah, I mean, this is like playing Friday Night Tykes against Oregon.
Huh. Yeah, like I said, I didn't see any of that. The only arguments I've seen is simply that the group of 5 doesn't belong in there. They definitely don't deserve to have to, and should be the very best of the best. The safety issue, I just feels like it's just kind of comical. It doesn't seem like a serious thing to talk about, is it?
it's ridiculous. I mean,
Okay.
there's a certain college football media member who's really taken it to another level as far as this
Feinbaum.
This discussion beyond Feinbaum, like
Beyond Feinbaum?
yes, it rhymes with Bud Elliott, and it's it's just it's taking it to like a ridiculous level. It's one thing to argue like maybe it ought to be the 12 best teams and not certain conference champions or whatever, which I don't agree with. We'll get into that later.
Okay.
But that's one thing to argue. Like when you start saying it's a safety issue for JMU to compete against Oregon, like, I mean, come on. I mean, was it a safety issue for Long Island to play at Florida at the start of the season or Illinois State to go to Oklahoma? Like these games get played all the time. It's not a safety issue. Like you say that and it's hard to take anything else you say seriously.
We're not even doing that in post anymore. That's how advanced we've become. I will say this though, to me that argument's so ridiculous it hardly merits worth mentioning, to me anyway. But here's what bugged me the most about the whole thing is were you watching the college football show on ESPN when they were announcing? Of course you were, right? You were watching the show to see where people are getting placed, right?
Yeah, I was walking from the basketball arena where I dropped off my things to the football facility where I watched it on the way over there, did a little press conference there, then went back to the basketball game.
About 30 seconds after they announced Tulane, which everybody expected, and then James Madison, which was a quasi surprise, right? There was some tension or suspense around that. Within 30 seconds of that announcement, just complete breakdown of all four pundits behind the desk, and of all people, Nick Saban sitting at his house after Alabama gets squeezed in after getting beat 28-7, his little team, and they get in anyway with 3 losses, by the way. They spent an hour using sentences like this: no disrespect to Tulane and JMU, but, and then the disrespect would come. And that's what bothered me. We're going to do this whole podcast?
I'd rather enjoy it, yeah.
No, but that's what bothered me the most, was that this was a big announcement for James Madison fans. This was a big deal for Tulane. And for them to spend an hour talking about how they didn't belong, how certain other teams belonged in there, like fucking Texas. Like they thought BYU deserved to be there. Notre Dame, who's reacted in the most whining fashion, as if they've never had an opportunity ever to play for a national championship. Like they haven't had all the advantages in the world. They sit there and cry and say, we're not going to do any bowl games. I mean, it was just that sort of baby attitude that bugged me the most. Now, this new thing about the safety issue, that just cracks me up because it just seems so ridiculous, Tibbs. It's just out of nowhere.
Yeah, and look, I get it that the P4 are there, right? They're the ones, they want all the money. It's all about them, all about us. Don't have us upset. We've already seen where the NIT is now no longer including conference champions, and it's P4 only. So you got to win, whatever that mathematic net formula is. I think pretty soon we're going to see where it's literally going to be those top 10 to 12, 14, whatever it is in the playoffs. And that's going to be it. And it's going to be so stacked that you will never see a Tulane, a James Madison, or anyone else from the G6 back in the playoffs.
No, the vitriol that's been put out about this, everybody's so aggrieved. Everybody's such a victim right now. They're going to make sure that this never happens again. Remember when Cincinnati got into the 4-team playoff, and everybody was pissed, and then Cincinnati didn't win, and everybody's like, well, I guess Cincinnati didn't belong because they're a group of 5. Their reaction was, well, let's just make them a Power 4 team. Let's bring them into the fold, and maybe we won't ever have to worry about it again. Now we have a 12-team college playoffs to get in from the group of 5, and they cannot take it. They cannot stand it. They cannot let us have this moment, Shane Metlin. What is the mood?
The thing that doesn't make sense to me is why does anybody in the Big Ten or SEC or the Big 12, for that matter, care that the ACC got left out? Why? It doesn't matter. The ACC champion was not good.
No.
I mean,
even if it was Virginia, they wouldn't be good.
They got their team in. They got their best team in with Miami. Like, the amount of money we're talking about for the ACC schools that they're missing out on if it had been Duke instead of JMU to supposedly go be the sacrificial lamb at Oregon is like less than $200,000 per school. Like, it goes directly to the ACC. Why do they care about that? That's nothing for those schools. That's nothing for Florida State. That's nothing for Clemson. It is a big deal for Arkansas State and App State.
Yeah,
like it's a big deal to get that a little bit extra money that might go to keeping a good running back or something like that. Like,
yeah, that would be nice.
Why do they care so much about this? I that's what I don't understand. This, if it,
I do wish that they had played it big and said, hey, you know what? I'm glad these teams got in. There's 10, Power 4 teams. There's 2 group of 5 teams. Congratulations, James Madison. Congratulations, Tulane. Welcome to the Brotherhood. Let's have a great game. This is for the fans. Instead, they absolutely ruined it, Tibbs. They absolutely ruined it with their whining and complaining and their belly aching and their charges that, we're just trying to protect poor little group of 5 teams, or they don't belong because they don't have the fan bases or the money or the prestige. It just seems low quality. If they're supposed to be the leaders of college football, you would think they would have a little bit of class, and they showed that they did not.
Are you serious? I mean, Feinbaum's whole show is saying Alabama just isn't what they used to be and letting the phone lines light up. That's all he does, all for whatever it is, 3, 4, 6, 8 hours, is say something really off the wall and just wait for the stupid calls of, yeah, I agree with you, Paul. That's about right.
Yeah, you would think that and I don't even know why Feinbaum's pissed. He's got all these SEC teams in there. Every SEC team outside of Texas who didn't really have an argument, in my opinion, anyway. They all got in. I don't know what his problem is. But
Homer, sure.
What? Oh, I thought that was another sound effect. Is there a ACC angle that we're not seeing, Shane? Because, we're out in the South. All we hear about is the Big 12 and the SEC.
Not really. I mean, it came down to when Duke won the championship. What are you going to do? They had 5 losses. They were 0-2 against a group of 5 this year. Like, what was their possible argument? Like, the argument was that JMU wouldn't do well against an ACC schedule. Like, maybe they'd lose 5 games or something. I don't know. Like,
could be, but also let's switch gears a little bit. I don't want to just bitch the whole time, but there is kind of something funky going on in Harrisonburg right now, where you have Bob Chesney leading his team to its first ever and the Sun Belt's first ever college football playoff game. But also there's a new head coach on campus. How is that like? That must just be bizarre.
It is weird. And I said this before we started recording. It was very strange, like, to go to Billy Napier's press conference today, which normally this thing happens. It's the biggest thing to happen in Harrisonburg all year if they hire a new football coach and they have the press conference to announce him. And it was just sort of like, oh yeah, this thing's happening too. Like there's like it was weird. And I mean, the fanfare and everything was there once we got there. Billy Napier was great. The whole, it was a celebratory day. Like, it was everything they wanted it to be, but it still was just sort of like, wait, am I going to do this? And there's still a coach coaching this team? Like, it was very strange.
Yeah, that must have been a bizarre moment. I remember in 2011 at the GoDaddy Bowl in Mobile, Alabama, Arkansas State was playing Northern Illinois. Arkansas State's head coach, Hugh Freeze, had already packed up and left. But in the stands was new head coach Gus Malzahn. So it was kind of bizarre to have that moment. I actually have a signed GoDaddy football from Gus Malzahn, and he didn't even play that. He wasn't even in that game. So he didn't coach that game. But it was just kind of funny to have that. It's just a weird, bizarre circumstance.
Kevin Harlan here. Tomorrow, the NBA on Prime Crew is back as the Emirates NBA knockout rounds continue. The action heads to Las Vegas tomorrow for a thrilling semifinals doubleheader. 4 teams remain, but only 2 will move on. The last 2 teams standing will then go toe-to-toe Tuesday night, December 16th, in the championship game for a shot at the cup, bragging rights, and a place in NBA history. And Prime is your exclusive home for all the action. So don't miss the final chase for the Emirates NBA Cup, coming to you live from Las Vegas, starting with the semifinals doubleheader tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. And Prime's also got your front row seat for the championship game Tuesday, December 16th at 8:30 Eastern. If you're not a Prime member, that's not a problem. Sign up for a free 30-day trial to get started today. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details. And don't miss the thrilling conclusion of the Emirates NBA Cup tomorrow, only on Prime. Drinking and driving is a decision that will change your whole world. Things will never be the same once you get a DUI, because legal fees and time in court are just the beginning. Getting into a crash is another way your world could be irreversibly changed after drinking and driving. Your vehicle may not be the only thing that gets damaged in that crash. You could face a life-altering injury or even death. But you're not the only one who could face those consequences. Your decision to drink and drive could permanently change someone else's world, whether you injure them or leave their loved ones grieving. The next time you're out drinking, call a rideshare, a taxi, a sober friend, or a designated sober driver. Always plan for a safe ride home. The only decision that'll change your world for the better is the decision to call for a sober ride. It's never worth it to drive drunk. Don't risk it. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
So, Tibbs, are you going to Oregon to watch this game as a representative of the Sun Belt?
So the other weird bowl game news, and I think it's weird because I can't tell you a time that it happened, but it is what it is with the weird bowl games and everybody opting out because they didn't make the playoffs because James Madison and Tulane stole the 2 positions and 12 teams opted out. We have the Birmingham Bowl for the mighty Vulcan statue with a 5-7 App State playing against Georgia Southern. Did Commissioner Gill really need to make a statement of, we tried to pair everybody and it was really the only option we had? Who cares? You have 2 more teams in the postseason.
All right. I saw this. I'm sure Shane has a more penetrating insight on this. But I saw that. I remember a couple years ago that there was a possibility, because there were so many bowl eligible teams out there, that there might be a Sun Belt on Sun Belt bowl game. And at that time, that was met with just complete and utter disdain. How dare, the bowl community treat the Sun Belt this way, where they would have to play each other in a bowl game? That's just disrespect. And that was like a thing. So I'm wondering if maybe Keith Gill remembered that attitude and wanted to make sure that, that the Sun Belt wasn't somehow being disrespected in this moment. But yeah, it seemed like a lot of people had the opposite reaction that you had, Tibbs, which was, why is he even weighing in on this? Shane, do you have something to put in on that?
No, I'm glad you pointed that out, because I was wondering why. Like, when you release a statement, like, people were upset. I was like, this is awesome. Like, We're going to get a rivalry game in a bowl. And it's like, App State, we didn't think they were going to a bowl game. Now they are. Like, who's complaining here? So I'm glad you put it in that context because that makes a little more sense to me. Because
that's the only thing that I can think of that he was reacting to, because I thought it was just kind of amusing. I didn't see it as a slight in any way.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it was like, oh, great. App State gets to go to a bowl game too. And it's going to be a game that people care about. Like, this is great. Great stuff.
And it shows that the conference has smart kids because it came down to APR for the second straight year to get a team into the postseason.
Yeah, that's something that Keith Gill could have bragged about, but instead he kind of chose to. I don't know. I kind of feel sorry for Gill too in a way, because why can't he just have a normal bowl season? So last year he has the bowl season where Marshall just can't play. They're the FunBelt champions, and they decide, well, we just can't play a bowl. Now he has this sort of double-edged sword where he has JMU playing in the playoffs, but also has two teams playing each other in a bowl game. He must be losing sleep at night, Shane.
Yeah, maybe. But, I mean, I think he's got to be pretty happy. 10 teams in a bowl, which is awesome for the league. They end up with, with all those Power 4 teams opting out, they end up in some, like, relatively high-paying bowls. Like, this one featuring middle-of-the-road Sunbelt teams in Georgia Southern and App State, not even qualified. This is a game that pays out almost $1.4 million.
Not so fast.
Okay.
You don't see the full amount. That's the contracted amount if the tied-in teams were to play in it. Say that was the payout for the New Orleans Bowl and the Sun Belt and Conference USA are in it. Yeah, you're getting the full payout. But if you have to stoop to the other peons of the G6 to fill your bowl, it's still a decent payout. They're probably going to bring home about $500,000 plus minus in that ballpark, but they're not getting the full payout.
Okay. Well, that does bring up another off-menu topic, Tibbs. There were a lot of teams from the Power 4. I think of Iowa State. I think Rutgers was one of them. Notre Dame, famously. A few others that declined going. And some of them did that with pride. Like, it was like, yeah, because, we didn't meet the standards of the fans, we're not going to go to these small bowls. Is the bowl system as we know it pretty much dead? I mean, if we can't get teams to go to the games, if we're now resorting to 5-win teams from the same conference going, do we need to reevaluate the bowl structure?
I don't think so. I just think that taking it all the way back to the beginning of the show, there's so much emphasis on this CFP, and that's where all the money is at, all the focus is at.
Yeah.
That if you don't make it, is it really worth putting the band together, knowing that there's portal, there's recruiting, there's everything else that could be going on, so that hopefully next year you can make it into the playoffs. As a P4, I get it, but it definitely doesn't bode well for the fans that want to be able to have that Christmas trip to Orlando for a bowl game where they get to see, their SEC team playing a team that maybe they've never seen play before or anything like that. So I think it hurts overall, but I definitely see where the P4 is coming from. Now for the G6, I hope that we take every bowl spot out there and the P4 can just stay at home and, do whatever they're going to do.
Yeah, but does it devalue the whole system if the Power 4 won't participate? I mean, if they're just saying it's beneath us and we're saying it's not beneath us, I mean, does it sort of, in a way, kind of make it look like, I don't know, that there's just two different schools of thought and that we're not playing on the same playing field?
We're not playing on the same playing field.
Go on.
I mean, even within our conference, James Madison to ULM. Even within our state, ULM, $12 million in debt, and you would think that the whole world is going to collapse. Louisiana Lafayette's $50+ million in the hole, and it's fine. We'll give them a new stadium.
Well, then you might as well adopt the idea that G5 shouldn't play Power 4 because they might get hurt. I mean, maybe if you're just gonna accept that there are weaknesses and disadvantages to the group of 5, why not just go ahead and make a separate league and move away? I deserve it.
I don't think that is the intent or what I'm trying to say there, Jeremy. I'm trying to say that if they want to play us, great. If they don't, screw them. Go do your own thing.
Oh, okay. All right. Shane, do you want to weigh in? I mean, you might get booed.
There's been this argument for a long time. Hey, there's too many bowl games. Like nobody needs like all these bowl games. To me, it's always just been, hey, it's something you can put on the TV during the holidays that everybody wants to like. Everybody will sit and watch Southern Miss play Western Kentucky on December 23rd when you have them over at your house and nobody can agree on anything else. You put that game on. It's holiday fun. People watch these games. They get great ratings. So why not have them?
Shane has adopted the Hallmark Channel outlook on the bowl game.
Well, it's just, I mean, people like say, like, I was playing bowl game. People watch them. Like, so who cares? Like, don't want to watch two group of 5 teams play each other in the middle of December, then don't. But there's enough people that do that, like, let's just keep having the games. And if someday there's not enough teams to fill them, then so be it. But right now, we can still have them.
Speaking of bizarre bowl games, Tibbs. So, Arkansas State. Shane, are you okay?
I'm going to survive.
Okay.
I didn't hit mute in time.
Arkansas State and Missouri State.
They're not going to a real bowl, Jeremy. They're literally just going to sit around a room with the esports team that we've had on here and play a bowl game. It's the Xbox Bowl.
Invited to the Xbox Bowl, which at first I was like, I'm not even going to go. That's what I said. I don't care. I don't care about Missouri State. This particular Arkansas State team was more heartbreaking than it was exciting. I don't want to go. And then I start reading into it, guys. It's in Frisco, Texas, in the practice facility. It's being held in the practice facility of the Dallas Cowboys. It's a 12,000 seat arena where apparently like these big high schools also play in, but it's also where the Dallas Cowboys play. And it's indoors. And I think I'm charmed. I'm going to be there, guys. I'm going to the first annual Xbox Bowl.
A 12,000 indoor arena.
Yes.
Sounds a lot like the Kibby Dome.
The Kibby Dome's bigger, though, right? It is the Kibby Dome.
No, it might be like 12.5, but yeah,
really?
It's not much bigger.
Oh, wow. God, I thought it would be. Oh, wow. Okay. But yeah, all right. And here's the thing. They didn't even have a website up until the next day. Like they announced it. And finally I get on the website. And I'm looking like for packages, right? Like, sometimes you get these bowl tickets and you can be on the field, or they'll have like a dinner or a breakfast beforehand. You get this pass. And that's why me and my dad are going. So I was trying to get something. They don't have any of that. It's just tickets. That's it. You just go. So it's bare bones. I don't know if you get an Xbox when you get there. I don't know if you get to control the players, maybe with the controller. That would be cool. I don't know what's going to happen in this, Shane and Tibbs. But when I come back, I'm going to give you like a full 1,000% report on it.
I can't wait to hear.
15.2, by the way, in the Kibby Dome. So it's a little bit bigger.
Okay. Man, for some reason, I thought Kibby had like a 25,000 capacity, which is kind of crazy. Okay, guys, first bowl out, though, is the Troy-Jacksonville State game at the Crampton Bowl in Montgomery. I've been to this bowl, and it's pretty fun. Montgomery's not a bad town, guys. You guys got any experience with the Montgomery Bowl? I'm sorry, the Crampton Bowl in Montgomery?
Played there, been
Yeah.
there. You're not seeing the light there, Jeremy, or they use like the Men in Black flashy thing on you to remember the bad parts of Montgomery.
I love Montgomery. All right, hey, remember that thing that happened a couple years ago where the party boat is trying to park their boat into the dock, and this group of people with their party barge was parked in their space, and the two groups end up getting into a big fist fight right there on the wharf. You remember that?
Yes. Yes.
So the Crampton Bowl is right next to that where that happened. So, me and my dad and my brother, we sought out that place, and they've got like a folding chair that was used in the fight out there as like immemorial, and it's great. How can you not want to go see something like that? If you're Troy, if you're a fan of Troy, you got to go to Montgomery just for that. By the way, it was the Camellia Bowl. What, now it's the Crampton Bowl? Huh.
It's always been the Crampton Bowl. It was the Camellia Bowl was the name of the game.
Yeah, but that's not it anymore. It's just Crampton Bowl. Is it the Camellia Bowl?
Okay, next game. Great.
Salute to Veterans Bowl.
Okay. Well, the next one's Old Dominion in South Florida. The next day, December 17th.
In the Cure Bowl.
Yes. Why don't I have names of these bowls in front of me? Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. Yes. You're right. That first one was the Salute to Veterans Bowl. Now it's the Staff DNA Cure Bowl? Wow. Old Dominion, South Florida. South Florida, are they in Orlando?
They are in Tampa.
Okay. Central Florida is in Orlando. Mm-hmm. Okay. So they're not kind of getting screwed.
I like Old Dominion, but the question I had, and this was another thing that we heard a lot about once the bowl picture kind of came into clarity. Did they jump on that bowl too quickly, knowing that it was kind of a lower payout with Sunbelt tie-in, so they're going to get the full check? But did they jump on that bowl too quickly instead of waiting and trying to move up and get to one of these bigger, more lucrative bowls?
Huh.
I suggested that. I got a little pushback from ODU fans saying, like, I think they're more excited about the matchup. It's
right. Yeah.
Their fans can get to in Orlando. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's possible. I don't know anybody anticipated there being as many opt-outs as there ended up being, like, when they kind of sell that pretty fast, I think. But I think, especially, I wish ODU was going to have Colton Joseph for this game so we could get it's the thing we debated about all year. We could get a little bit more clarity where the Sun Belt stacks up with the American, with one of the best teams from each conference playing each other. So I wish Colton Joseph was going to be playing in this one because I think we'd see ODU give them a good game.
This is Michael Rosenbaum. Hey, folks, let me tell you that drinking and driving is a decision that will change your whole world. Things will never be the same once you get a DUI because legal fees and time in court are just the beginning. Getting into a crash is another way your world could be irreversibly changed after drinking and driving. Your vehicle may not be the only thing that gets damaged in that crash. You could face a life-altering injury or even death. But you're not the only one who could face those consequences. Your decision to drink and drive could permanently change someone else's world, whether you injure them or leave their loved ones grieving. The next time you're out drinking, call a rideshare, a taxi, a sober friend, or a designated sober driver. Always plan for a safe ride home. The only decision that will change your world for the better is the decision to call for a sober ride. It's never worth it to drive drunk. Don't risk it. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Yeah, I like this matchup. I think I like it for Old Dominion. I like it for the Sun Belt. 2 9-3 teams. But man, you're absolutely right. That's not the same Old Dominion when you don't have Colton Joseph behind center. And it seems like some guys have opted to say, "Oh yeah, I'm going into the portal, but I'm going to play my bowl game." I've seen a little bit of that this year. I kind of wish Colton Joseph had done that.
Yeah, I wish.
Oh, go ahead, Shane.
No, I wish we were going to see him play in this game. Selfishly, I guess, because I mean, I'm not the one going out there risking injury to do it, but yeah,
safety issue.
I would love to know how ODU stacks up, how a full strength ODU stacks up with a full strength South Florida.
Yeah. Later that day, we've got the 68 Ventures Bowl, one of my favorite bowls of all time. When it was held at that old crusty Lad People Stadium, now it's held in beautiful Hancock Whitney Stadium. The Cajuns take on Delaware. Delaware, brand new to the FBS fold. Shane, you're a little closer to that neck of the woods. Delaware went kind of a surprise 6-6. Is this a pretty good team?
I think they're okay. I don't know. I would expect Louisiana to be able to take care of business, but I don't know. I haven't actually paid that close attention to where Louisiana stands as far as like their quarterback situation where they've had some injuries and stuff, but they are getting, and now the name completely escapes me, but Skipper, yes,
Skipper gets back, yeah,
good defensive guy back, so that should bode well for the Cajuns.
So Thibodeau, we saw kind of a resurgence of the Cajuns at the last 4 games of the season. They kind of put it back on. They kind of figured it out too late, but they did figure it out. Are they just going to crush this Delaware team?
I think that if you look at the Cajuns team that we saw those last, 3-4 weeks of the season, I think they have a really good chance. And especially with that being a more regional home game than it is to the Blue Hens of Delaware, I like the Cajuns to keep that trophy at least in the conference.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know much about Delaware. I was kind of surprised that they became bowl eligible. A little bit like I was surprised Missouri State became bowl eligible. That's the Xbox Bowl opponent for Arkansas State. We already talked about that. I don't know what to expect from either team. Arkansas State will be going in full powered, though, which is interesting. I don't know if Missouri State will, but we'll see. There's a big game, James Madison and Oregon. I think we're going to pass that for the time being. But we'll talk about the other 3 bowl games. No, God, other 4 bowl games real quick. Western Kentucky takes on Southern Miss in the New Orleans Bowl. Maybe Braylon Braxton's back for that. I don't know. I hope so. Western Kentucky, always an amusing football opponent. So I think that's a pretty good New Orleans Bowl matchup, guys.
I think it is as well. I did see that Braylon Braxton took part in the media press conference, so I assume that he's back and going to be playing. I think that that's the tell of the game. If they have Braxton, I think Southern Miss wins this game. If they don't, Western Kentucky once again beats a Sun Belt Conference team in the bowl season.
Historically, Western Kentucky has cooked the Sun Belt in bowl games. I think you could talk to Appalachian State and they would completely wholeheartedly agree on that. Shane, do you have any input on this?
Not really. I mean, I think if Braylon Braxton's back, they got a good chance. But isn't Western Kentucky a team that always gives Sun Belt teams a little bit of trouble in these bowl games?
I don't know. They just seem to have. Yeah, they have some sort of.
Jamie was able to get by them last year, I know, but it seems like they're always a little tough.
They're always pissed off at us for some reason. Southern Miss is, to me, one of the more disappointing stories in the Sun Belt. They came out like gangbusters. They looked unstoppable. And Braylon Braxton goes down. They don't really have anything to kind of, as a backup plan for him. And they end up losing all those games in a row, culminating in losing to Troy, which must have been agonizing. So agonizing that Thibodeau, our favorite Sun Belt coach, Charlie Huff, took a hike.
He did. I guess once he found out that Southern Miss was not going to be going to Shreveport, just like he predicted, he hit the road and he is now walking in Memphis.
Yeah.
Barbecue up in your neck of the woods.
Yeah. And I tell you what, the reaction from Memphians hasn't been bad. I kind of expected them to kind of look at at this hire as sort of being a mediocre hire, even though I think Charles Huff is a great coach. But I think they kind of see. I think they see the talent with Huff, and they see his ability to recruit, and they see his ability to coach. So I think that's going to be a good hire for Memphis. The J Lab Birmingham Bowl. We talked a little bit about that. Georgia Southern, Appalachian State. I'm just going to ask quick hits. Who's winning this game, Tibbs?
I think App State. I think Logan Dow, D-Lo.
Yeah.
He kind of got that fresh breath late in the year, and then getting the retrieval of the dark season and getting a bowl game. I think he makes the most of it and comes home with a Vulcan Big trophy.
Yeah, I know they're very excited about the recruiting this year. Shane, who's going to win this game? I think it's going to be Georgia Southern, but I'd like to hear what you think.
I mean, I think logically we should think that Georgia Southern is the better team just based on the results this year. But I'm kind of with Tibbs.
Ooh, okay.
If you're App State, you kind of let one get away in that game in the regular season. You get another chance at a hated rival. Like, I think we see the best of App State in this one. I think they have a really good shot to win.
All right, yeah, I'll be the outlier. I think Georgia Southern kind of left on a high note. You know, they're kind of. I think they're kind of ready to win this game. They are a 3.5-point favorite. So Vegas and I are on the same page on that. Then you come down to oh my God, what is this? The Radiance Technologies. A lot of technology businesses sponsoring these bowls, guys. The Independence Bowl, Coastal Carolina, and this is almost like a Sunbelt on Sunbelt game. Louisiana Tech versus Coastal Carolina. I don't know what to think of this one, Tibbs. Help me out. Help me formulate a thought.
I still don't understand why they fired Tim Beck and they were 500 at 6-6. They're a mess right now. It's a home game for Tech. Tech's not bad. They have really good defense. I don't know if their guys have already opted out though, because I did see that a lot of their defense was hitting the portal.
Oh,
we could see some ugly football, but I think that the home team gets the nod in this game.
Yeah, I've only seen a couple Coastal guys hit the portal, and that doesn't mean that there's like an official portal, and then there's the guys that are waiting, I guess, January 2nd or something to hit the portal. How about you, Shane? What do you think of this game? Is Coastal Carolina going to kind of, I don't know, are they going to be too depressed losing Tim Beck, or are they going to be rejuvenated losing Tim Beck?
Yeah, I don't know. Is it one of those situations where you rally around the interim guy? Maybe, but it does seem like it's just a little bit unsettled at Coastal right now as to who's available. Like we've mentioned before, they haven't been the same team without Samari Collier at quarterback either.
Yeah.
So I think future Sunbelt member Louisiana Tech probably wins this one for the league.
Okay. I kind of think that way too. Louisiana Tech has always been tough, just a little bit like Western Kentucky. Always a little bit tough on Sunbelt teams when they play us in bowl games. And then the last non-playoff bowl game, Rice versus Texas State. I remember Rice was the one that kind of exposed the Cajuns early in the year this year, winning something ridiculous like 16-14 in at the Cajun place. Texas State, also one of these teams, though, that they came on hot at the end. Like they kind of figured it out at the end. I think they won 3 in a row after losing maybe 4 in a row. No, 3 in a row after losing 5 straight conference games. I think this could be a fun game, an all-Texas game, right there at the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl in Fort Worth. This is a sneaky good game, Tibbs.
I think it's a good game, but the key question, do we care? Because, I mean, Texas State has both feet out the door.
Yeah.
They're already done. They're in the Pac-2, 12, 10, 18, whatever they are. Do we care? Do they care?
That's a good question, Shane. Do we even count this as a Sun Belt Bowl?
Yeah, I think when they
if they win.
They sent out the press release this year about the bowls and having the 570 whatever winning percentage in bowl games. I'm sure they're going to count it as a win. They're going to count it as a win against the American if they get it. So care in that regard. I think it's statistically going to count for the Sun Belt.
Yeah, I think technically it is. And you should accept whatever Texas State gives us as they're coming out the door. And hopefully they give us a win.
I'm pretty sure the bowl payouts going into the Sun Belt coffers.
So I imagine Rice at 5-7, they were probably the first APR team to get in, right? I mean, those guys are pretty smart at Rice.
I think they were. Top of the list.
I think I've heard Rice described as a Ivy League of the South. I don't know if that's strictly true or not, but Rice, pretty good game. Now, on Sunday, December 20th, I think it's like at 7 o'clock our time. Yeah, 6:30 American time. You can see it on TNT. You can see it on HBO Max. And you can see it on True TV.
They're doing everything they can to bury this game.
They really are. Luckily, I have access to those channels, so I'll be okay. Number 12th ranked James Madison. The team that squeaked in takes on Oregon in Eugene, which is, by the way, a charming stadium out in a park somewhere in Oregon. You know what? I feel like here, like even amongst my friends, they're like, oh, James Madison's going to get stomped. They're not going to know what hit them. I think Oregon's kind of soft, to tell you the truth. I don't think they're a hard-nosed team like a James Madison. To me, James Madison is a broken nose kind of team that gets in your face, that never, like one of those dogs that bites into an oversized branch and won't let go. I don't know if Oregon can handle a team like that. They already got beat by a team. The only loss they have this year was a sort of James Madison clone in Kurt Signetti when Indiana came and popped them in the nose. Am I right, Shane, to feel good about this game?
I don't know. Like, that's the thing. I don't know what to expect from JMU in this one. It's true they haven't played the same kind of schedule as a team like Oregon. But I don't know. People talk about Liberty going out to Oregon, or actually they went to the Fiesta Bowl, but they played Oregon a couple of years ago and they just really got stomped. They kind of into that 12th spot as well. It wasn't the playoff yet, but it was the New Year's Six bowls. But then I wouldn't have guessed, or I didn't know at the time that 2023 JMU team was as loaded as it actually was. Mm-hmm. We didn't know then that those guys on the field for JMU that weren't eligible for that kind of bowl game because they were still transitioning. We didn't know there was a bunch of first team, all Big Ten guys playing for the number one team in the country on that roster. So I honestly don't know what kind of roster JMU has this year. Is it guys that are on that same level? I don't know. Maybe. But like hindsight tells me that team could have played with an Oregon or somebody. Maybe this JMU team is just as good. My gut says like that's not the same talent level, but I don't know enough about evaluating it to see. Maybe 2 years from now, we'll be talking about like, wow, JMU had all of those guys on the same team the way we are about the 23 team. I don't know.
So Dusty Thibodeau, I kind of made some, I don't know, not enemies, but there was some gnashing of teeth when I was watching the James Madison versus Troy championship game, right, for the Sun Belt. And Troy really hung in there. Troy looked pretty good against James Madison. I expected James Madison to really blow apart Troy. I had seen Troy play Arkansas State. They didn't look good against Arkansas State. I didn't feel like they were a good team, but they did pretty good against James Madison. James Madison's just going to have to play better if they're going to beat Oregon, right?
They are, but I think as long as Chesney is still coaching, I think that even though he has the UCLA job, this is still an audition for him of what can I do now that I'm on the big P4 stage? Why did you trust me with this team, with this job, knowing that I'm coming from, the Friday Night Lights type team of James Madison? I think that he has just as much to prove as JMU, and he's not going to be one to let the fans down. I think that's why he's kind of an X factor to get them over the hump.
You think Bob Chesney is what's going to get him over the hump?
One of the smallest guys, yeah.
He's really going to fit well at UCLA with his gas station sunglasses and hair gel in his hair. I think he's going to do pretty good. I'm feeling good about this game. I think Bob Chesney does have a lot to do with it because I think he's a pretty damn good coach, and he's a little bit to me. And tell me if I'm wrong, Shane. You've
wrong.
had more interactions. You've had more interactions with him than I had. He can be a little cocky like Signetti, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a different way. Signetti doesn't care if you think he's cocky. Whereas, I don't know, Bob maybe kind of slips it in a little bit, but also plays off hey, I'm just a guy. I don't know. Yeah, but they're both confident in what they do.
Yeah, Signetti can't be measured in terms of cockiness. He's got godlike level cockiness. I was listening to a radio show on my way from somewhere, and they were talking about Indiana, and they're talking about Signetti, and you could tell this guy was trying his best to like Kurt Signetti, because he was the first year he comes in and he's talking shit, but he doesn't win the games. He's got a pretty good team, but he doesn't win the games. This year he comes in, he's still talking shit, but this year he is winning the games, and I think I respect that. But I never really thought of him as just a guy who talks shit. I always thought he did deliver. Anyway, I am glad to see Kurt Signetti in Indiana in there, because I feel like Signetti is just a FunBelt guy through and through, even if he is in the Big Ten. So, guys, that's it. That's the slate. I know I'm going to a bowl game. I guess James Madison probably needs to win a bowl game a little closer for you to get going there, Shane.
Yeah, we'll see if they play in Miami the week after.
All right, we'll see about that. What are you doing for bowl season, Tibbs? I know it was kind of a disappointing year for ULM, but
same thing as you, firing up the Xbox.
Are you going to the Xbox Bowl?
No.
Oh, why not? How far is Houston from Frisco?
Probably 5.5.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I can see where that could be kind of a trip. Yeah. Anyway, I'll be going to the Xbox Bowl. I'll let you guys know how that goes. Guys, it's time, I think. Do we want to talk about basketball, or do we want to save that?
Yeah, we'll save it.
Save it? Okay.
We need a Netlin episode sometime soon.
I'll try to work that out.
Okay. Because it's coming up on conference play, guys. And I'm seeing moments of interest in this season. Even though the net doesn't look so good, there are some moments of interest. Guys, it's your favorite topic. It's your favorite segment of the show, Thibodeau. It's plugs, promos, and parting shots, right?
I love that analogy.
I'm going to give a shout out, a promo.
Ooh.
Georgia State did not have a very good season this past year, but definitely one of the big bright sides of the Panthers. Ted Hurst, and he is getting rewarded, headed to Mobile for the Senior Bowl. So congrats to him. Hopefully he can make it, and we'll have yet another superstar in the NFL that we get the Monday morning updates from the league saying how our guys did.
Hey, do you like watching the NFL and seeing Sunbelt guys out there? Do you point them out and go, hey, there's Isaiah Likely. He used to play for Coastal Carolina. Or
I'll purposely watch those games knowing that those guys are in them. Yeah.
I will pick them for my fantasy football teams. Just to say Sunbelt legend, I have Vidal. on my team, and he's done me well. He's put some points for me, so I appreciate that.
I've barely watched any NFL football this year.
You know why? Because you're an East Coast snob when it comes to the NFL. You like the purity of the college game.
I need to do something else on Sundays.
Church? Oh my God, you're going to church. Well done. I tell you what you haven't been doing. You haven't been putting up your Christmas lights.
No, I haven't.
I'm gonna make Shane go last. I'm gonna
Wait, I have one less thing for Ted Hurst.
Who gave you access to these sound effects?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna make Shane go last. So Shane, because I know you've got a humdinger. I know you've got one that's just gonna grab us by the spine.
Actually, I do.
Okay. All right. So I don't really. I felt like most of my anger and rage was covered at the very beginning. But do you guys have the HBO?
The HBO. Okay.
Yeah. The HBO.
And we go to the Walmarts with an S.
You have the HBO though.
Yes.
Shane, you have the HBO?
Yeah, I like to watch Dream On and First and 10 and
the Home Box Office Network. I think that's what it is. So they have a show, Welcome to Derry, based off sort of a spinoff of the It series. Yeah, when I was a kid, I read that book about 3 or 4 times. It was just a great book to speed read, fun book to read. And I watched the mini series that came out, and I think it was either the late 80s or early 90s, had all these sort of pop TV stars in it. So it was just a great show to watch. And then I did enjoy the new It movies that came out. I thought they did well. So I was looking forward to Welcome to Derry. And it's just, I'm just going to be honest with you. It's a shit show. It is not good. It is a lot of like they put a lot of effort into the weirdness and the jump scares, which I appreciate. But they put like no effort at all in pacing or character development or script writing, or just basic, like there's so many just little tiny goofy storylines going on that none of them are interesting. None of them really connect. You got this moment where you've got these kids and they're like, I don't know, 11 years old, and they're hanging out at a speakeasy on an army base, and some guy approaches one of the kids and says, "Hey, do you play drums?" And he ends up playing drums in the jazz band. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? In what universe does an 11-year-old kid end up playing drums in a jazz band in a speakeasy in the 1960s on an army base? This doesn't make sense. Why do I have to put up with this crap? So I've stopped watching. Now you can tell me like, oh, it gets better. It doesn't. I'm not watching it. I don't advise you to watch it. Watch the old 1980s It miniseries. You'll have a much better time. And that's my parting shot. Bongos. Okay, I like that.
All right. I've got a parting shot too. So we're all like history buffs here,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
We all like history.
Yeah.
I've been thinking a lot about the 1870s, the 1880s.
Uh-huh.
The railroad companies killed off all the buffalo, right?
Yeah, that's right.
They did. And it maximized their profits in the short term.
Sure. Yeah.
But it destroyed an important part of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
It destroyed what could have been like another industry. Like we could have like had a buffalo industry, like we have a cattle industry now.
If we had some regulation, yeah, sure.
Grasslands went away because like the buffalo weren't helping manage that.
And the indigenous people that relied on them had.
Yeah, and by the 1920s and 30s, we had a dust bowl that made the Great Depression worse than it was.
Yes.
Right?
Generational ramifications.
Isn't that what the Power Four conferences that want to basically kill off the G5 are doing right now?
Are we the buffalo?
That's what they're going to do. Like, it's a part of the ecosystem of college football. Whether you want James Madison and Tulane to be in the playoffs or not, like if you kill off these group of five, who are you going to get your coaches from? Who are you going to play in your non-conference games? Like it is like a part of it. Like you may maximize your profits here for the next few years, but what are you going to do when they're gone? Like Nick Saban, you played at Kent State, you coached at Toledo. Like,
never mentioned it.
Understand this? Like that these places, you wouldn't have been the coach at Michigan State had you not gotten a chance to do it at a group of five school. Like, why you're not thinking long term about trying to kill off the group of five?
You know, Shane, what you are describing is something uniquely American. And that is we cannot stop ourselves from killing the golden goose. It's like we have to squeeze as much profit as we can of whatever we have. And we don't care about it being sustained. We just want the instant gratification of that profit. You know, like it's like kind of like when Disney bought the Star Wars series, right? And their response to buying it wasn't, okay, let's make sure that we just continue making quality productions. We'll take our time with it. We'll make sure that the storylines are good, that the special effects are great, and we won't put too much crap out there that people will lose interest. They just churned out as much as they possibly could and ruined the Star Wars franchise, which used to be... What is that?
It's an explosion.
But that's what I'm saying, is that we can't help ourselves. We have to kill what is good in order to extract those golden eggs, right? That is what we do. Shane, you are absolutely right. Tibbs, back me up on this.
I'm just here so that we can get some ad revenue.
Are you that guy? Are you the one generating the revenue?
Happy holidays. Want to give your host a gift? Consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show this holiday season. It really helps the show grow. From all of us at Believe, have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and a happy holiday. If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.